Welcome to Grind Is True Podcast. Well, me and my co-host Sean talk about personal and professional growth.
Grow up, grind it straight, grind it straight, grind it straight. Make your next move your best move. Grind it straight, grind it straight. Grow up, grind it straight.
Welcome back to the Grind Is True Podcast with your hosts Travis and Sean. Hey, Sean, you were just telling me a story about how you kind of made a mistake with your business. Why don't you go ahead and elaborate and let the people know what it's like when you make a mistake in business and how important it is to stay on top of shit.
Yeah, and it's obviously important to be truthful with yourself because I didn't obviously have to bring it up to you and tell you what I did. I could have kept it to myself or felt embarrassed. But so I had a last-minute cancellation. It's more of a reschedule. It's for a really good client, and it would have been a 2-day job, so I had 2 days set aside for him. And unfortunately, his vehicle ended up on a tow truck yesterday. So last-minute scrambling, I have to figure it out to get something on the schedule for me and my guy. And I feel like I could have done more. I could have reached out to more of my long-term clients to see if they needed anything done. I know what I need to do in those situations. And personally, I don't know if it was because it was a holiday weekend, the 4th of July, or if I was just, honestly, if I was just stuck in my family life, maybe that's why I didn't feel like I cared. But I feel like I could have did a little more to try to secure some more work for the next 2 days. I've reached out to some people, but I feel like I could have done way more. So I feel like I failed 100% at that yesterday and today.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show that there is never a break when it comes to a business, and when you do take that break, things can happen that end up eventually costing you money.
Yep.
It's not the end of your business, it kind of sucks that it ends up costing you money when you could have called somebody or tried to schedule that in as best you could. Other than that mistake, what would you say the biggest mistake you've ever made with business would be?
The biggest mistake, I think about this a lot, and I don't think I'll ever change it ever, but I feel like I grow really, really close relationships with a lot of my clients. When maybe I should just leave it at, the business part, but I don't know why, but I connect with a lot of people, and I feel like, we just grow into a personal level, like, real quick, and I don't know if that's good for the business or not. And that's a little scary because, not to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I've had a couple really good clients in the past, and we built a personal relationship outside of the detailing industry. And with a couple different particular people, we had issues outside of me just detailing their vehicles. So I tell myself, maybe if I wouldn't have taken it onto that personal level, maybe I would have still had those contracts. Maybe I would have still been making that money with that person.
Right.
So these are things I've learned.
Really thrive for that personal touch when they meet someone.
Thought, yeah.
They want the name drop. Like, hey, Joe, how's things going? It's not, hey, how are you today? They want that personality, and they want that good feeling of, okay, I'm special when I walk here. But I guess you found a dark side to that as well, that some people can become too familiar.
Well, and it's not as a dark side, but it's something that I'm staying real cautious about, and paying attention to, because it's not with every situation, it's not with every client, but I just want to be aware that I don't have to get personal with these people, but
Right.
Just standing there talking with them for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and we're talking about something that might have happened with their family member or a pet at home, and I feel like we just connect, and then we're talking for 20, 30 minutes. And it's not that I ever even asked for that. I just feel like it just continues to happen. So I don't know. I'm never going to cut it off. I'm never going to change it. But I don't know if it's going to hurt me more and more as time goes on.
Do you ever, this is the business owner inside of me, do you ever feel like that 30 minutes that they're talking to you, that just costs you money? Like, you're taking your time for your client, which is great. But honestly, time with the client should be 5 to 10 max.
Right.
So if they're sitting there and they're shooting the shit with you for a half hour, 45 minutes, that's taken away from your day to get something done to make money. Do you ever kind of get a little pissy when that happens?
I feel like I can control that sort of, depending on the time of the day the client's coming. If they're coming midday, as they're coming in, I'll I'll let them know in messages. I'll let them know straight up. I'm on a detail right now, just walking when you get here, and then almost every time when a client comes and they see we're moving on a car, I give them their key. We go over everything, and they're out really quick.
Okay.
Now, if it's a client 4 or 5 p.m. If it's a bigger job, more money invested, obviously you got to go over everything with them, explain different procedures. And then if it's at the end of the day, I'll stay, the day's over. My work day's over, my shop's clean, and, they show up. I'll sit there for 30, 45 minutes, because my work day is over. But if I have something to do with the family, I'll let them know, like, hey, I can go over everything with you for a few quick minutes, but then I have to get to hockey. I let them know. I'm real transparent. I don't hide it, or I don't try to rush them. I let them know, like, I have stuff to do.
I think people respect that when you're honest with them and just tell them up front, hey, I can't be here for so many time. I can't listen to 3 stories of yours. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta go. And I don't think people find that to be rude. I think they actually appreciate the honesty. But have you ever had any real issues when you kind of considered a client to be a friend, but it just kind of didn't work out for you? Somebody tried taking advantage of you, things like that?
More or less just those people thinking that they should have probably got a better quote than they did because they're my friend.
Right.
But when it comes to friends, family, my father, they all get the same quote and a lot of them would tell me. Like, we had Eddie on recently. In the very beginning, he would come out and I'd tell him a price. He'd always throw at least 50 to 100 on top, same as you, over the years. And
I think it's just right. Somebody does a service for you, and you know that they're giving you a discount. You know they're helping you out. The least you can do is throw a little bit extra on top and be like, yo, okay, I appreciate what you did for me. Thank you. Because
and not only that,
it still took time away that you could have made double the money you just charged somebody else.
Right. And he even said from the jump, because you guys put me on to things as mentors from before any of this, before any of the businesses. And he told me from the very beginning, do not discount your friends because, obviously, as we know, if they're your true friends, they're going to pay for what your value is.
100%.
So we know this, so I don't discount even friends or family. And I feel like a lot of times if good friends hit me up for something, I send them a quote. It's just crickets after that.
Right.
Because I feel like they were assuming to get a better deal.
Well,
so, I mean, it is what it is. I'm running a business. This isn't a charity. I'm not.
No.
Like you said, your time, we had 24 hours in a day. And years ago, 24 hours, that was a long time. Now, 24 hours is nothing sometimes.
No.
Like, it's never enough.
Never enough.
So you got to make it worth it.
100%. And I agree with the fact that you don't discount friends. I discount family because it's my family. I just don't feel like I should. It almost hurts me to do so. But I do agree that
I try to.
When you discount friends, you get people that are always trying to take advantage of you. Like, oh, hey, I know you just cleaned it last week, but you want to clean my car again? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just now you're cleaning the same car every month for dirt cheap because somebody's trying to take advantage. And I will say, based on the friends thing, when you hear crickets, is everybody will always show their true colors eventually. Some people take a little bit longer than others, but everybody's going to show what they're truly after. If they're your real friend, they'll stick by you. They'll pay your price. They'll do what you want. No problem. And the ones that are just after a deal because they're your friends, they will just disappear.
And with that being said, even my friends, they'll schedule something on, right? And because they're my boys, right? It's my boy. So what do? I don't make them give a deposit because that's my man. He's going to show up.
Yeah.
They don't show up.
Right.
A million excuses.
Mm-hmm.
So I schedule them on. They don't leave a deposit because I don't require them to. And the reason I don't require them to is because, I'm going to be honest with you, those particular people, I sort of feel like, I'm not going to ask him for a deposit because he's going to feel a sort of way from me asking him. And every time I do that and I hold back from asking that person for deposit every single time because I was worried about how they were going to feel, they don't show up.
Right.
So these are things I've learned in the past 6 months because I only started requiring deposits in 2026. And talking about clients, not to cut you off, talking about clients, it's pretty interesting. I never would have thought it would have been this way. I didn't want to forget this. I've been trying to get this out. 90% of my clients I don't even see or meet, which is pretty interesting. I would have never thought it would have been like that.
Yeah, they just drop the car off at the location, put the key in the box, and
When I'm done for the day, I'm out. Their cars are outside. Their keys are secure in the box for them to come get at the end. And I'm out. So it's like, if I don't see them, I don't see them. So a lot of people I don't even have to see, you know. Not saying it's a bad thing, but we're busy in life, so I can just keep flowing all day.
And that's great that you can trust somebody, because it has to take a certain level of trust to take your time, clean somebody's car, put it out there, give them their keys, and then hope they put it, and then hope that a payment's in that thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's great. That's amazing. You know, because it takes a real scumbag to take advantage of somebody like that. As far as I'm concerned, that's just not okay. You're basically robbing somebody, just like a contractor that promises, "Oh, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this, but I need $10,000 down," and they grab that $10,000 and they leave. You know how many stories I hear in the business I'm in about that? It's ridiculous. People don't trust contractors because it is just so predominant in the field, and I would do everything I could to help those people take the contractor to court in that case, because that's just the biggest scumbag. There's no difference
Happens all
between
the time.
me putting a gun to you and saying, "Give me $10,000," or me walking into your house and say, "I'm going to build you 3 new decks. Give me $10,000," and then me never showing back up to the
Those people do
job.
get in trouble.
Oh, they do, but not all of them.
And
a lot of them have
takes a
done
lot
it
of time.
several
I
times
know.
before they end up getting caught, and it's horrible. Like, that is not the way you should run business. If you want to run a business, you should be focused on your client's approval. That's it. That's what's keeping you alive, because when somebody loves what you just did in their home, they're going to continue referring you, calling you, everything that they ever need. You know what I mean? I mean, you keep calling me.
Yeah.
When anything breaks in your house, you call
Only
me.
one I trust, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. But
because you can come in, I'm not there. I know it's not.
it doesn't
with
matter,
everyone,
but you know that your house is secure.
Yep.
You know that we're going to take care of what's going to be taken care of, and we're going to clean up when we're done.
Yep.
You know, I don't find that hard, but that's what makes my business kind of difficult, is just so many dishonest people.
Yeah.
You know?
It's scary, especially because you see the prices that people are. When people are getting contracting jobs done, it's not usually cheap. So
No.
And when people are getting taken advantage on those type of levels, obviously it becomes scary.
It's so expensive. We offer financing.
Yeah.
Like
That's amazing.
we had to, because
A lot of people can't afford it
would
nowadays.
tell me, "Oh, I can't afford this." Well, what if you could afford $250 a month and you get yourself a brand new kitchen and bathroom, and we do it all in one shot and it's
Yep.
done? You know, like, it's just little things like that that people don't think about. And how about snakes in the grass when it comes to detailing business? What stories have you heard about that?
What do you mean with that?
Well, my snake in the grass would be a dirty contractor stealing
yeah.
from people. What would be like my version in the detailing business?
So there was a guy a few years back. He ended up he ended up getting like charges and everything with the police. He was just like charging people for services, and he wouldn't, fulfill the commitment. He wouldn't do the service. For instance, if let's just say it's a coating job, he would just either buff the vehicle or just have guys do like a quick one step. It's just like basically cutting corners, but like when you're cutting those type of corners and people are paying, $1,000, $2,000, $2,500, whatever it is.
Detailing's expensive.
Yeah,
man.
and you're cutting those type of corners, and then he wasn't paying bill. It's just like, really the only snakes in the grass would be basically just cutting corners, honestly.
Yeah.
Like dishonesty with pricing, like.
I mean, I'll tell you, when I bought my first truck, I paid for the detailing and undercoating of the truck at the dealership.
Yeah.
That ran me almost $5,000, and that truck never looked as good until you touched it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and I kept just telling myself, dude, these guys just jacked me for $5,000.
One of my boys had that happen.
You know?
And
So
he
I've learned.
went-
But
yeah.
you learn from your mistakes, and your mistakes can always cost money. Times, they always cost you something. So the most important thing is to take a mistake and turn it into a lesson. Don't do
Yeah.
it again. So ever since then, I don't ever do that. Especially since, I mean, I know you. Why the hell would I fucking take it anywhere else? But, so you were telling me that your daughter has graduated college.
High school.
High school, my bad. That's huge.
Yep, she just graduated a week or so ago. So now she'll be going to Alfred State in August, going for medical. So
Where's Alfred State?
believe it's a couple hours away. My wife went out with her
Is it
already.
in New York?
Yeah. I don't know if it's Rochester way. I'm not really sure. I haven't even looked into it. I've been busy. But I know my wife went out there and checked it out with her. So when she does move out there, I'll be with them to help move everything out.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I feel like it's going to hit me and my wife really hard at that point because we've been together now for 18 years. Our daughter's 18 years old. So it's like I'm her stepfather. So at the end of the day, I've raised her since 6 weeks or whatever it was, very young age.
Mm-hmm.
And so when this happens, it's going to be real for us. Not seeing her in and out of the house all day like she is with her. She has 2 jobs. She graduated high school, but she has 2 jobs, so she's in and out all the time. Every time she walks in, just talking for a couple minutes, feels good. But, we're not going to have that anymore, so it's going to be different. We're not going to see her car parked in the driveway every day, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I remember when my oldest went to college. Even though you have other kids in the house, it still kind of throws you off.
Yeah.
You're just like, where is he?
Yep.
Where is she? It doesn't. I don't know. It's different, and then you kind of. What's weird about college, what'll really throw you off, is you'll get into a groove of, okay, she's not here. Then all of a sudden, she'll be home for Thanksgiving, and she'll be home for a week, and you'll be like, when are you leaving?
Yep. Attitude.
And then she'll leave, and you'll be like, where is she? And then Christmas time comes, and she's home for a whole month, and you're just like, okay, this is a long month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not a bad thing, but it's also like you got into a groove, and something kind of just made it better and worse at the same time. Because you got to see your child, they're home, it's awesome, you're excited, but then it's also like, all right, but it's my space too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's always a catch-22 to everything, and that really made me sound like an asshole, so I apologize.
Well, not that, but she's one of those kids that, like, she's just always a pleasure to have around. Like, we'll argue.
My kids are great to have around too, but sometimes I'm trying to get to the fridge, and he's in the fridge, and I'm just like, yo, can you move? I'm trying to get into the fridge. That's all. It's
This
not
dude's already thinking about eating.
Yeah, of course. But it's not about being like in the way or a nuisance. It's just you
Your
get
space.
used to
Yes,
a routine,
yes.
and it just kind of it changes the routine.
Yeah.
That's all. In no way is it a negative having your children home. That's a
Man, I
wonderful
love my
thing.
kids, but every day I keep saying I can't wait until I just have my own space. Like, I have a nice house, and the kids everything's like they just do. You know how kids are? They're teenagers.
You say that now, but as soon as that house is empty and it's silent,
This is why I'm
you're
saying
gonna
it to
hate
you.
it, man.
I don't say
You're
this
gonna
to
hate
them.
it.
We embrace it right now. Me and Stephanie will be bitching to each other, and I'll remind her, Stephanie, we aren't going to be doing this in 10, 15 years, and we'll embrace it. We'll embrace picking up stuff, picking up the toys around the pool. We just do it and deal with it because we know, and we tell each other every day, every week, it's not going to be forever, so we just do it.
Yeah. It's heartbreaking. It's exhilarating. It's literally every emotion when your kid goes to college because you're excited for them, for the new experience and everything that they're going to go through. But you're also heartbroken because now the house feels empty. But you're also excited because it's a new chapter for not only your kid, but for yourself.
Yep.
So it's definitely a fucking roller coaster, man. It's
But with
It's
her,
different.
with her graduating, like you brought it up, with her graduating and now going off to college, it doesn't make me like not think about owning a business, or it doesn't make me think about all my accomplishments that I've done. But it's more of like that's like more than anything that I've done. Like us getting our child to that point, guiding her all the way up there, and now she's graduated, now she's going to college. Like, I've hit all these milestones with myself, but that right there is sort of, like, completed it for us with parenting and stuff because my son, he's not, how there's a lot of different characters in the world, I would say, and he's just not one of those guys. He doesn't like school at all.
Oh, I hated school.
So,
I was not one for college.
And, we know how it is. So, not everyone's built for school, and I respect it. It's my son.
And honestly, you gotta recognize when you're just not meant for college because I wasted 2 years of my parents' money going to college, and I shouldn't have gone. I really was not into school at all. I was into making money. How can I make money? What can I do next? What's the next adventure? So my mindset is a little bit different than a lot, but I will be the one that states that college is not for everybody, man. College is maybe
high school is not for everybody.
For 40 to 50% of the population, only because there's a
Yeah, it should
large
be the medical
percentage.
field. That's it.
Well, not only that, but there's a large percentage that should probably go to trades, and then there's
We got
another percentage
lawyers.
that could trades like
No, I'm
like
saying,
HVAC
but then we got
and things
lawyers.
like that. You know what I mean? And then there's a small percentage that don't need any of that because they have a goal. They have a mindset, whether it's to be a YouTube star or to create the next Microsoft.
Everyone's wired differently.
Everybody is wired differently, and to recognize that is extremely important. Another thing that I feel as though that's very important was, it was a quote my grandmother used to say was, it's a lot easier to recognize the flaws in others than it is yourself. You know what I mean? It's very easy to always want to point that finger. It's always easy wanting to say that I didn't do anything wrong, he did, or she did, or whatever. And to me, I always, first and foremost, look into what did I do. And I think that changed my life a lot because it made me see my own faults before wanting to blame anything on everybody else. Well, what did you do to make this happen? How did you fuck this up?
Yep.
You know? And I kind of snowballed that a little bit, but I thought that was a very important thing to say with what we're doing here because we're personal and professional growth. So the best way to personally grow is recognize your own faults, and that can contribute to a business, whereas whatever you're not good at, you should hire for. Whatever you're good at is what you should do. You know, you need to recognize your own downfalls
Yeah.
before you can be successful in anything. Would you agree?
Yes. 100%.
What would be one of your biggest downfalls? Let's just flow right into that.
Like my biggest downfall is something that sort of holds me back.
If you're just beating on yourself and on a daily basis and you're just like, dude, this is what I suck at, what would it be?
100%. It's not being able to tell my kids and my wife no when it comes to the spending. And like, honestly, bro, that's really my biggest flaw is I cannot tell my family no. And I feel like that affects a lot. You know, I'm the one that's making everything happen.
Does that affect your business? Would you say that that's your biggest business flaw? Let's
No.
separate it into personal and
it's
professional.
It's personal.
Okay, so there's
it
your
has
personal.
to do with personal growth, honestly.
That's fine.
Has
I
no-
agree. It's part of it. It works. But let's just say that's your personal. Now, what's your business?
Well, people won't see it because you don't see everything. But I'm a big procrastinator. I put things off big time
Well, there you go.
when I shouldn't be. And
People
I've
don't need to
been like
see your
this.
flaws for it to be a flaw.
No,
you
I know,
what
but
mean?
people would be like, "What? He's always grinding. He's always going." I'm still always putting shit off, though. People don't see that, and when I do that, it eats away at my brain for the entire day.
Mm-hmm.
So now, see, I sort of try to like build myself because we only like yourself the best. I know myself the best,
That's why I ask.
and I've never been like this before I owned a business. But now, like, I'll see these flaws, and I'll literally make myself work on them. Like, I'll be like, you're not gonna do that tomorrow. You're gonna get it done today. Because if you do that, you're doing the same shit you were doing 2 months ago. You're still putting shit off. And I literally talk to myself.
But you recognize it and you're trying to make a
Yeah,
change,
I'm trying
right?
to change it because I procrastinate.
But it's not easy, is it?
No.
Right.
Especially not when I know I have time with a vehicle. There's no rush. When people give me time on vehicles, this is for you guys for the future. Don't tell me take as much time as you want. Because if you tell me that, I'm going to be trying to fit in every other job at the same time and just knock away at that a little bit because you gave me as much time as I need.
Right.
So it's like, when people give me time frames, I feel so much better because I'm like, it's almost like that boss is over me telling me you got, like I sort of notice that when people give me a time frame, I work faster. I'm in a better mood. It's like when I'm able to put something off, I can put it off and it eats away at me more.
That actually brings up a really good subject. When it comes to owning your own business, everybody says, "Oh, I want to be my own boss," right? Well, nobody is their own boss. Okay, when you're in a client-based business, your client is your boss. I don't care who you are or what you're doing. Your client is your boss. And if you don't want to listen to it, well, then you're going to be fired by that
getting
client.
paid.
Exactly. You're not getting paid. You're not getting called back. It's not going to be a repeat business. So, I mean, it's very important to understand that when everybody's like, "Oh, I want to be my own boss," you're not your own boss. There's always somebody either hiring your company to do the work, a client bringing a car in to get detailed. It doesn't matter what the case is, but there's always going to be somebody who's paying your check. That's it.
Yep.
You know, and it's so easy to just be like, oh, I'm going to make my own hours, be my own boss. I'm going to do this and do that. And it's, no, we all have a boss in this world. It doesn't matter who it is, but it's still our boss. But back to flaws. I think it's only fair because you mentioned yours. I'll mention mine. When it comes to professional, mine would be disorganization. I do my absolute best to be as organized as I can.
It looks pretty organized over there and stuff.
No, not organizing my materials and tools. I'm talking scheduling
Your brain
jobs
and
and setting up estimates and calling back clients and all of that, which would tie into the procrastination. You know, I really kind of let as little as I can slide, but I really should be so much more organized than where I'm at. I need a better hand on the business, and I'm literally contributing 12 hours a day to it, so I'm doing the best I can, but sometimes it just feels like there's, like you said, there's only 24 hours, and I'm working 12 of them, man. Like, I got to go get some sleep, you know, and it just feels like I wish there was 36-hour days, truly. I just, it's horrible when you feel like I've been working from 6 a.m., it's 6 p.m., and I've still got 10 hours of work to get done. Like, this is crazy.
So as soon as you said that, you reminded me of when Eddie was talking to us, the owner of Second Chance Diner.
Yeah.
And if you remember what he said, remember he hired an assistant,
Mm-hmm.
and he said how much the business boosted, you know, because he obviously records everything. Why not in the near future? Because if that's your biggest flaw with the organization, with scheduling and quotes and estimates and all that, you know, once those are moving faster, the money's gonna be moving faster.
100%.
So maybe delegate and maybe hire out just for an assistant. And it doesn't even have to be like a forever thing, you know. Maybe it could be someone that comes in and just trains you and gets you up to speed with that stuff.
Honestly, I want to get back in the field. That's what I loved. I loved working
So
with
then
my
you need
hands.
then you need to hire someone to take over all that.
I am looking at different people to hire for an assistant and things like that, to come in and truly kind of take care of most of the office work so that I can be back in the field, because that's what I love. I love building things. I love seeing things get demoed and built to be brand new and beautiful,
And
brand
you
new
can get more
paint,
done if
everything.
you out there.
100%. I mean, there's not a single
And it's not you're gonna be
person in my
killing
crew that
yourself
can
at the end
paint
of the
as
day.
fast as I can,
Right.
or can put a kitchen in as fast as I can. You know, there's certain talents that I can bring to the table that would bring in so much more money. But my business called for me to be behind the phone and behind the computer, so that's where I'm at. But again, I guess business-wise, there's another fault. I suck at behind the computer. I don't like it. I'm meant for hands-on.
For all those first years, you were focused on out there in the field grinding, so you were putting your focus out there, which you had to pay the bills, so you couldn't even put the focus in there. And that's the same exact thing that happened to me.
Yep.
The same exact thing. And I have a good friend out in Albany that owns a detailing business, and he got me up to speed with the website and the Google, because Google is really big with the businesses. So it's not easy for us to do all the hard, the labor, and then have to do the back end too. And let's say you don't have the business experience, you don't have the degree. We're learning everything on the fly, everything.
For sure.
It's not going to be easy, but we just have to stay at it, learn every day.
Constantly doing different shit. You're constantly trying to change things for either the better or for whatever you're thinking you're doing this for. And
there is no...
I mean, dude, when it comes to a business, it's got to be, at least your first couple businesses you start need to be a trial and error. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to be opening multiple businesses throughout your lifetime, so you learn from your mistakes, and your next one will be better. But for those that start a business and want that to be the one for the rest of their life, you're going to make every mistake in the book. Every single time. I mean, there's no way around it, because you're going to get swindled by people that are going to make you false promises, or you're going to make a mistake and it's going to cost you money, or you're going to get behind on taxes, which is very easy to do. I mean, it's just, you're going to make every fucking mistake you can.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that sucks about a business. It really tests you with anything you've got, with everything you have in you, honestly. But I think that's what makes us stronger than others. It allows us to truly thrive when others can't, because we've already been through the grind. I mean, the world could close tomorrow, and we'll come out of it.
Oh yeah,
No problem. You know.
something that I always try to wrap my head around, and I don't know if I ever be able to do it. I feel like I need to do like a full day experience with a person on this level or something to actually see or believe myself. But we know people. We're gonna have a lot of people on that own multiple businesses, or they're doing multiple things a day. And then I refer to myself, and I think of what little I do, because I'm a small time detail business owner. So I think of like what little I do during the day, and I think of the things that these other people have on their plates, and I can never wrap my head around how they get it done. And I can never wrap my head around it. Like
It boils down to organization, man. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Is they delegate. I can tell you exactly how they
it's
do
delegating.
it. No, you're thinking by delegate that they're gonna hand it off to different people. I'm saying in a day they delegate certain hours for certain businesses for certain things. So from when this person wakes up at 6, from 6 to 9, they're answering emails for this business. Then from 9 to 11, they're answering emails from this business. Then from 11 or from 12 to 2, they're answering emails from this business. Then from 2 on, they're answering phone calls for all those businesses and making phone calls for what needs to happen next for those businesses. So they're literally, their entire day is planned down to the minute usually. Somebody who can run multiple businesses at once needs to be beyond organized, beyond able to multitask.
Yeah.
And they literally, in their calendar, will say boom to boom, boom to boom. And when 11 hits, they stop answering calls. You'll catch me tomorrow from 9 to 11.
Yep.
And that's it. You got a 2-hour window to call this guy. You don't call him. You don't email him. You don't do anything. That's your fault. I got to go. I got other business to attend to. And that's it. It's just plain as day. You've got this time to come contact me. If you don't want to, I'll catch you tomorrow. And those that don't aren't worth his time or her time. You know what I mean? You just, every minute is delegated throughout their day. Some of them wake up at 4 and work out till 5, and then they start their day.
Yep.
You know, it all just depends on who you are and what your goals are. But if you want to run multiple businesses, organization and lack of procrastination is key.
Yeah.
And it really is. So, I mean, that's just things that we need to work on to become more successful and better at everything we do from here on out.
Yep.
But again, we would never know to work on those if we didn't know that that's our flaw.
Right.
That's why
you have to recognize
that's what makes
them,
this
and
whole
you have
thing
to
important.
Yeah.
Is, you literally need to truly, honestly look at yourself and say, okay, what am I the worst at? And for me, it's organization all day. Like, I'm just not. I do my absolute best, and I'm getting better at it day by day, but it is not an overnight thing.
No.
So,
as you probably see a lot on social media, Stephanie's balloon business, booming.
good.
Yeah.
She's getting parties and
Yeah.
graduations.
And I
all
told
that.
her this, it hasn't even been 12 months since she opened, but last year, and a lot of discouragement in the beginning. And I told her, Stephanie, not every business is going to pop right off. It's not always like that. I said, you have to be consistent.
You said pop, and it's a balloon business.
So I'm like, not every business booms instantly.
Right.
And so I just kept her encouraged, kept her having the faith. And then throughout the winter, it started picking up more and more. And then now, obviously, we just had graduation. But it seems like every weekend, she works a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
Then she works part-time at her brother's dispensary. And now she owns her balloon business now for almost a year. So I could say she almost works as much as me nowadays. So, and like I said, she's doing basically Saturday and Sunday every weekend. Different parties, different events.
She even made some stuff for my holiday party.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
You know what I
That was
mean?
dope.
Like, those were awesome.
Yeah.
That not only was it awesome for my holiday party, it was awesome in my house.
Mm-hmm.
The whole family loved it. Like,
those were
they
nice.
loved it. She made a tree out of balloons. It was fucking amazing.
Yep.
It was so great.
Yeah, she's real creative with it, which, I never even saw in her the creativity. I never thought that, because I don't know where she gets it from, but she can do all the things she sees online.
That's
None.
awesome.
Yeah, but she probably can't make like a little duck or dog or nothing.
Well, she's not a clown,
I
man.
know. Same shit.
No, it's not the same shit, dude.
I feel like that would be easier to make a
You wish
dog
you-
or something.
No,
It's not, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe get her some. You got to get a
She could probably
specific.
make a big ass dog out of a whole bunch of them.
Oh, she could do that.
Big Clifford.
She could do that,
That'd
but
be
I don't
fire.
think she could fold a balloon.
Nah.
But maybe. You got to get her some. You got. Those are special balloons, though. It's
Yeah.
not the type she has.
Nah.
No, but I mean, with graduation and the summertime being full of weddings, is she kind of booked for most of the summer?
Yeah. I can't remember when she booked up till, but she's booked up pretty far.
That's good.
Booked up further than me.
Well, hey, dude, that shows organization for one.
Yeah, she is so
And-
organized. Oh my god.
And not only that, but it also shows that what she is starting, there's a need for. Which,
Yeah.
again, if you're going to start a business, you better start one that there's a need for.
Right.
Because if
Or
nobody
else,
needs
yeah,
it,
you're trying to
you're
find
not-
that little niche. That
Yeah, it's not going to work out for you. But I mean, that's great, dude. How many graduations has she done yet?
A lot.
Has she?
Yeah. So she had to buy more and more setups so they could be at different locations the same days at the same times. That's what
Right.
she ran into. So right now it's always been, but right now especially she's been reinvesting everything right back into it. It's not
good.
cheap. Like you would think, oh, balloon. It's really
No,
not cheap
'cause
though.
you need stands
She
and
used
you need all
quality
that stuff.
balloons, which a lot of this stuff, all like that type of stuff is going to be paid for with a deposit, from the client.
Oh, yeah.
But with the stands and all, the supplies, it adds up, obviously.
Yeah.
So she's reinvesting everything right back into it. I told her, I said, I'm on 5 years now. I'm still reinvesting, in my mind, everything. Like, if I need something, I'm buying it. I need it. It's always going to be reinvesting.
It's important to reinvest, especially until you have, well, like I have a warehouse full
Yeah.
of materials. You want to have
Then
more
we-
than abundance
Right.
of things so that you're always prepared for whatever could come.
Yep.
Now, on the board, you wrote, "Don't believe what you see in pics." What do you mean about that? Let's talk about it.
Well, it could be like on a funny side, or it could be like on the sad side at the same time. A lot of times, because nowadays I just feel like everything is ran off of social media platforms. Let's be honest.
Right.
And a lot of times,
Saying most of it's AI.
no, I'm not saying AI like James's muscle pictures and shit. No, I'm not saying that. It's going back to like, no, you can't believe everything you see and hear. A lot of times you'll see couples, they'll post together. They look extremely happy. Everything looks peachy key. And the reason I'm even bringing this up is because I try to teach my kids this.
Did you just say peachy key?
Peachy, what is it called?
Peachy keen.
Keen?
Keen.
Oh, I would have never known that. I just say things how it sounds. I don't know.
All right, continue.
All right, anyways, criticizing me. It's my speech impediment.
Nah, you good. Go for it.
So what were we talking about? No, for real, I lost
About
track.
how like pics and
Oh.
videos, people
So
look
it's just,
fake in them.
yeah, it's not good just to, I don't know, I feel like people think, oh, you see him with a nice car, it's not all sweet, as it looks on the outside.
Well, of course. I mean, anybody can take a pretty photo, but
No, I'm saying with
nobody can actually state that their relationship is 100% perfect. Everything in this life needs work. I don't care what it is.
Right.
If you want to be successful in anything at all, personal, business, anything in this world, it will take work. If you are a lazy piece of shit, nothing in this life is going to work out for you. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Because you need to be able and willing to fight for what you're fighting for. And there's so many people out there that are like, I just want to sit behind a computer and be a YouTube star. And it's like, okay, that's great. But unless you're putting out 100 videos a day and you're doing insane shit to catch people's eye, you're going to be left in the dust. You're just asking to be an actor, which is a 1 in a million chance.
Yeah, because it's flooded. Yeah.
Not to say you can't do it, but it's extremely flooded. There's a million kids that want to get paid to sit in their room, in their daddy's house, and record videos or record people playing their own video games, which is great. If you're making money at it, do it. I support anything that creates money. But
You had to be different.
it's not only do you have to be different, you have to fight and grind harder than anybody else. And that's what we're about, right? Is teaching people how to grind. It doesn't matter what you want to do for a life, but you need to put your 110% effort into it, and you need to give every fucking thing you got to it, because if you're not willing to do it, then don't start it.
Yep.
We've said it probably about 6 times already, and we're going to say it every single episode, because it's the most important aspect of starting a business and being successful in a business. Is it's got to take everything you've got.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
So we're at the end of the month now. We've had on, was it 3 guests now?
Yeah.
We had on Austin,
Eddie,
Ron Media,
and Cash.
Eddie, the owner of Second Chance Diner, and then we had on Cash with the credit solutions. How do you think everything's been going?
I mean, I love the guests. It's really fun having guests on.
Learning their story.
Just because we get to learn their story, we get to learn where they're from, what it took for them to build what they are.
Yep.
But don't get me wrong, I do love sitting here shooting the shit with you, man.
Yeah,
Because there's always so much that we can talk about, but they can bring a different aspect
To
that
help
we
others.
can't.
Yeah.
You know, we're only 2 business owners.
Yeah,
to bring a third, or possibly maybe in the future a fourth, I think would be a huge step, because it brings different aspects and allows the people to understand what it takes to start different businesses.
Right.
All right. One was social media and editing, and he photographies weddings. One owned a diner that is doing amazingly well.
Yep.
And then one owns a credit solutions that he's bringing people's credit score from 600 to 840. You know, all of it is a different aspect. It's a different dream of a different person, and that's what we're about here. We want you to follow your dreams. We want you to do what's going to make you the most happy.
Yep.
You know, so nobody starts a business that they're not happy doing.
Right.
You know,
don't
they
have a
do it
passion
because they
for
have
it.
a passion
Right.
for it, and it explodes, or it doesn't. You know, some don't. Let's just be honest. Some businesses don't thrive the way that they should have. But no, I love having the guests on, and I'm excited to have the next few.
Yep.
Out of the, let's go. What was the biggest aspect of Amara Media that you found? Like, what was the biggest little tidbit that he dropped?
So the thing that stuck with me most about him, even though I've known him personally for a long time now, I didn't know this. I didn't know this about him, but sort of that. He wishes his business was further than where it is now, and that he still hasn't given up. So just to know, and obviously we all go through it, but just to know that he's had the thoughts of giving up, and he's still pushing forward, and he's still booking stuff as we see. He does amazing work. It just makes me feel good that he hasn't given up, and to see that he's going to keep thriving because he has that mentality. That made me feel good.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I love his passion
Yeah.
for what he does. I mean,
He's crazy into it.
Oh, he's not only crazy.
It just
but
shows.
He loves it. Yeah, he's not willing to quit, and I don't think he should. I think he's extremely talented at what he does. And not only that, Amara Media also does our editing for the podcast. I mean, he's very talented
Yeah,
kid.
he
He's very, very good at what he does. And shout out to him, because he really
helps us a lot.
Not only does he help us a lot, he helps a lot of people.
Yeah.
He has a huge heart, and he really cares about what he does. You don't see that passion so much nowadays,
Right.
and I think it's kind of sad, because it's so easy to just be like, oh, I don't know what I want to do, but somebody who knows and they're fighting for it, that's huge. All right, let's go to Eddie. When it came to Eddie, what was your biggest surprise with him? And I know you've known him for a while too. So
Yeah, I've known him a long time as well. My biggest surprise with him, it's really no surprise, honestly, but let me think. Because we did talk about some stuff off air that we obviously can't spill the beans yet. But
No, but all right, how about I take that question from you then? The biggest thing that I learned from Eddie was the fact that never count yourself out, right? He started in a very small spot. Then he moved to a bigger spot. Now then he moved to another bigger spot, and he's constantly upgrading. And I mean, he has the potential to be one of the largest diners in Syracuse.
Seeing why,
ever.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
and he's doing unique stuff with his menu. That's what sets him aside. That's what brings in the heavy money that he makes, because he's just so successful at business when it comes to that. And you know, most people don't think heavy money when it comes to a diner.
I know.
I mean, let's just be honest, it's a diner,
Yeah.
all right? Like, how much money can eggs and pancakes really bring in? But it can bring in some fucking money, man.
Yeah.
You know, that was probably my biggest shock when learning about starting up a diner.
Yep.
You know, but
And then adding
again,
the
it's,
liquor
you have to
license
set yourself aside from all the diner. And
Right.
he got himself a liquor license
Yeah.
for a diner.
with a dope ass bar.
Right, like that's awesome, and now he can have mimosas in his diner, and you know, do different things that when you go to other diners around the area, you can't walk in and say I want a mimosa.
Right.
You know, you can't get that there. You know,
Nope.
so it's just a certain outside of the box thinking that I think is the biggest thing. All right, so I took Eddie.
I'll
but-
take over Cash.
Well, yeah, why don't you tell me what you thought was most important about Cash, or most surprising?
Well, yeah, I'll answer the most important after. Which was pretty surprising, and it sort of touched home a little bit with me, was with how he first started hustling, selling the CDs,
Mm-hmm.
how he'd make CDs and stuff, because firsthand, I watched, which is our producer, one of our producers, James, my brother. I watched him in the late '90s, early 2000s. You know, he used to make the cassette tapes before the CDs came out,
Mm-hmm.
and then once the CDs came out, he would buy the big, you know, quantities of them, and then he'd make the blends, or he'd make all different types of CDs, and then he would sell them. And you know, as we talked to James, with being a business owner and such, he didn't even know at the end of the day that he was already in entrepreneurship before he even knew it.
Right.
With that, you know, little experience right there. So that right there, they had a little relation with that. But he's another guy, you know, I've known for a long time. He's relentless. He's nonstop. Where's he at right now? And where's he at?
Cancun.
Cancun. Yeah, he's in Cancun enjoying himself, you know. So he's always moving. He's always figuring stuff out for the next move. Him and his wife, this sticks out to me a lot because it relates to my situation. Him and his wife grind together, very similar to me and Stephanie. They run the businesses together, you know, they enjoy life together on the daily. So that right there sticks out to me a lot when it comes to him. I haven't really seen, like you know, he named some flaws or some bad choices he made over the years. But other than that, he's been another good mentor to me. You know, when I have questions and stuff, I can reach out to him. Very helpful, very respectful guy. He provides a service that helps people that, you know, credit is everything nowadays.
Right.
Like, let's be honest. You can have as much money as you want in certain situations, and if you don't have the credit, that money's going to do nothing for you.
Very true.
So he helps out a lot of people for what really matters in life, you know, moving ahead in life. What about Cash did you like, or that you sort of didn't see in him when you met him, and then after he talked, you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming?
Well, honestly, this has nothing to do with when I met him, but I think the most likable quality that I got from him was the fact that he's always down to help people.
Yep.
You know, I could see it in him when I met him that he was a people person and a good person, but he wants to help people the most he can and bring them up the best he can.
Right.
You know, now as far as your question goes, it's hard to say because I kind of liked him right from the get. I didn't get any weird vibe. I liked him. You know, he seems honest. He seems truthful. You know, he seems like he just wants to be a good person and make money while he's doing so, which is what we're all just out here trying to do. You know, because in this world, if you're just going to be an asshole, money's not going to follow you. You know, you've got to be a good person, and you've got to kind of put yourself out there to make real money. And the only way you're going to do that and make those sales is by being a good person and being real with yourself and who you are. You know, I just think every single guest we've had on, none of them kind of wanted to portray somebody they weren't.
Right.
You know, they were honest.
Because we
with
can
who
read
they
it,
were.
obviously.
Oh yeah, I mean, we all know those business owners that their bank account's this much, but they act like the bank account's this much.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows that guy that is living beyond his means yet,
Yep.
and that can lead to heavily failure.
Yeah.
You know, it can really devastate not only the business that people are depending on, but it can devastate the business owner too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I'd say this was a pretty good,
Little recap.
productive podcast. It was a good recap. We touched on business. We thought about different aspects and things, and I believe next episode, I think we're going to try to get a guest on again. And in the meantime, why don't you lead us out, Sean?
All right. Thank you all for tuning in once again. Stay in the grind industry where builders become leaders.
Have a good night, y'all.
Grow up, grind it straight, grind it straight, grind it straight. Make it next, move your best move.